Alright, welcome back to last night's trade recap. With that mic over there. Let's have a look, and we're also going to talk about some other stuff as well after, with new month coming up and some other stuff that I'm really not happy with at the moment. So, select our bar, go to here or whatever. So going into this session now, this is a weird session to go into because I actually went into the session with I actually traded with my initial buys, but my buys changed about 4 times. And as I'm going to talk about disappointed shit, but it wasn't the discipline aspect, it was the aspect of the market. Which is going to sound bad because I'm actually going to, at the end of this, because I'm pissed about shit that I did last night. So, I was already looking for longs as we swept out London, and we actually were creating an SMT during pre-market, and then we stopped completing it. We created this other Asia session SMT as well off of these, and I was looking for longs, but for a second I was looking for shorts after we got this breaker structure and got this move up. But what I was waiting for is, because I would have taken the short on Nasdaq, I was waiting for ES to break structure, and ES stayed in bullish structure, and that showed me that probably wanted to go long. What we also had was, we had this move here where we were filling up this fair value gap and we we're failing it. Now this is the kind of aspect where we need to look at, we kind of wanted this fair value gap 3 times, we probably run out of liquidity in that space. And I definitely could have been more patient and waited and used my trading experience and gone, okay, well this fair value gap's probably going to break. Let's be patient for a second and see what happens. Maybe it could just bull run, and that's best case scenario. But point is, our actual initial trade was here on NQ on this is a piece of piss trade. Literally most undeserving trade. Actually, it wasn't even there. It was fucking there. Purely because we got that wick down. I literally just went like this. Fucking oath, let's risk $400 of the funded. Yeah, the boys. Let's risk my full funded on this shit. Swear, bro, that's what I did. I'm a fucking idiot. Like an absolute retard. I did that shit. Swear. Let me get some water. Anyways, we then came down. It's up on the main charts. That's on the. Came down and created this SMT off Asia lows, which is now my main bias. And we also had an SMT up here from these highs, but that got completed with that move down. So my bias then changed from bit bearish to, we just completed a bearish SMT, created a bullish one. We're changing market flow. That's a bit of a technical term, but pretty much I was looking for longs out of this gap, but we could have been more patient. Now that was the ES trade, but I took the NQ trade a bit earlier. NQ trade was literally off SMT. Thing is, we didn't wait for a retracement. That's what cost me as well. We just went straight off the inversion of that gap and entered on the 5 minute. Which watching for the retrace actually would have saved me a lot of money yesterday. And I over-risked as well. That's why I lost. Purely lost because I had fucking 4 different entries. The last 2 trades weren't that bad. They were actually pretty good. It was just a bit early, but like the first one, that was just shit. So like that, look at how high we are up, and I entered at the tippy top. It's like rule 1 of trading. Don't do that shit. And then arguably, the better entry could have been there, the break structure, or we could have looked at it and gone, our bullish structure's kind of failing here. And let's just wait out a 5-minute candle, see what happens, and see if we're going to get a bullish candle, you know, and just be a bit more patient. See, even that, this trade wasn't that bad actually, and that was a bit of like a liquidity farm, low-key. It was a bit unexpected as well, as we had that initial liquidity sweep at the start of the session. We then had this trade on ES, which was off the fact that we were in good bullish structure, but remember, we almost broke structure down here. Yes, that still means we're in bullish structure, but it's still not ideal, and it's probably not worth taking a trade up, especially when you're taking it a bit late. Well, that's because I couldn't catch that move because I was waiting for break structure on NQ so the index isn't aligned. At least I followed that part of my strategy. If you were to write that down, because I'm mastering SMTs this month. Trade there, not too bad. Stop loss placement probably wasn't the greatest. It stopped out. But in reality, I was taking little stupid dumb trades. Because let's have a look. My bias was absolutely correct. Same on NQ, had all the relative equals that I wanted to target. Actually didn't even get them all. But my bias was correct. Execution was just shit ass. It was purely the execution that lost me, you know. So that's what I'm really looking at this month, is execution and patience. Because taking a funded trade off the first fucking candle of the session is just downright retarded, and risking 400 of it, and now my account's down a lot. My account's down. I'm down like the last 100. So that's why I've come into our month. We got our training goals for July. You simply make $100 on my life. That's fair. It's $500 account. It's a 20% increase. That's fair. It's achievable, but it's also hard, and it's going to require me to be patient. Trade every night. Last week, a couple of times I fell asleep and I didn't wake up and shit like that. That's piss poor. Piss fucking poor. No more of that. And honestly, you could blame that for my loss tonight because of purely just missing out on market experience. So, but I'm not going to use that excuse. I'm going to blame myself for being an idiot. And then use my strategy, of course. Entered early on here, didn't get a retracement, not good enough. Be patient, be disciplined. Now, I'm in the back of a new section of July learning. So I want to master SMTs, master my bias, master what liquidity to target. So what I mean by that is, into this session, am I looking for shorts because of these lows and because we're showing a bit of bearishness, or am I looking for longs because we've got these better draws? And then we're going to master patience and execution. And then I've got down here, I'll never rush a trade again, I'll be waiting and use my strategy. So, sorry, I'm a bit sick, alright. So here's a trade recap and a little bit of, you know, well, how I could have won. And also last night probably wasn't most ideal market conditions, but I still last night wasn't good enough. Anyways, thanks for watching. Longer video, so yeah, thanks.